What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Dillian Whyte. I recently finished watching a video of my man Sporting Icons, and he put up a poll, and I partaked in this poll. And it was, if the WBC agrees Dillian Whyte to face Wilder versus Brazil winner in a final elimination, who would you like him to fight as the eliminator? You know, and he had a few words. He had Agit Caballel, which is the European champion. He has Luis Ortiz, Alexander Povetkin, Manuel Char, and Adam Kownacki, right? Adam Kownacki is a good fighter. I would say that would be second best, but no, it was Alexander Povetkin at 18%, but Luis Ortiz was a whopping 63%. The public speaks. You know, this shows that we want to see these top guys. It comes down to these top guys. After the big three, after Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury, and Deontay Wilder, this is what we have. We have Dillian Whyte, then Luis Ortiz. You know what I mean? You can throw Povetkin in on that second tier, you know, below the top tier, okay? So we speak. I would like to see that fight, you know, because a lot of people would criticize Ortiz's last performance against Christian Hammer, you know, and he didn't look good. He looked old to me. You know what I mean? That's just real. He looked like an older fighter, but he was fighting a counterpuncher, and he is a counterpuncher. So a counterpuncher fighting a counterpuncher, you don't look all that impressive. Versus Dillian Whyte's performance against Chisora, you know, a 11th round knockout, but it was a war. It was a war. It was 23 rounds of war. You know what I mean, with these guys, okay? And Dillian Whyte's a come forward fighter, so is Chisora. So yeah, that looked a lot better, you know? So based on the performances between these two guys, you would look, oh man, Dillian Whyte has Luis Ortiz. But the styles make the fights. So if we compare them fighting other people, yeah, that's a no-brainer. Yeah, they look better. He definitely looked better, more impressive, you know, with how he fought Chisora. But you got to understand, these are different people at the end of the day. You know, the only way we're going to know who's better is match them up. We got to match up these two guys. These guys have come close to getting a fight or whatnot. I don't know if it's Luis Ortiz's fault or his team's fault or Dillian Whyte, the time difference or whatever. I don't know, and I really don't care at this point. But it shows that we do want to see these two guys get it on. A lot of people want to see Deontay Wilder's only strong leg snatched from up under him, you know, with Ortiz, because that's his only credible win. You know, if Dillian Whyte's able to do that, more power to him. You know, I think, personally, I edge it to Dillian Whyte right now. But again, it's a counterpuncher versus a fighter that's improved over the years, which is Dillian Whyte, versus a fighter that has a great boxing IQ, but he's getting older. So between the two styles and what's going on in their career, it looks like a dynamic fight. And if it does happen, that's pay-per-view worthy, like my man Sporting Icon said. So to counterpunch, I agree with him. You know, that would be a pay-per-view attraction, you know. So if the fight can happen, that's what we would want, you know. I think most fights should be done on polls, on the strength of polls. You know what I mean? And then put into motion by a vote, right? Why you think it's so important to vote for Democratic or Republican or whatever your government is? Because the public matters. So the public of boxing should matter also, because we watch this shit. We support it. Okay, we keep these fighters fighting. You know, this is prize fighting at the end of the day. So I get it. You know, Deontay Wilder will always have an ace in the hole from beating Luis Ortiz. Okay. And I don't see why people haven't really caught on to that. You know, Dillian Whyte should have fought Luis Ortiz a long time ago. He should have fought him right after Deontay Wilder beat him. And to immediately discredit him if he could take out Luis Ortiz. You know what I'm saying? That would have been an impressive win for Dillian Whyte, and he would have had probably the best resume in heavyweight boxing. Think about it. He fought Joshua, Parker, or Joshua, Parker, then Luis Ortiz, you know, and I think he should have fought Ortiz over Chisora because that was mostly, you know, a local fight. That's like a Kell Brook and Amir Khan, you know, if they have already fought previous. But, you know, it's a local rivalry. You know what I'm saying? But he would have done that. I think that Dillian Whyte would have been smart to, you know, do what Deontay Wilder asked him to do, you know, and see if Deontay Wilder is a man of his word, okay? Because you guys remember, he told Dillian Whyte, well, why don't you fight Luis Ortiz? If you can get past him, I'll give you a chance. You remember that? You know, that's what he said. You know, and then see, since the fight didn't happen, it makes people look like they're avoiding Luis Ortiz. You know, and then we don't really know all the facts and what happened from this time to that time. So that's how it appears. So still at the end of the day, Deontay Wilder has beat an undefeated guy that's avoided. And he gets full credit for that. You see what I'm saying? Someone has to discredit him by beating that guy. You know, just like if we look at Brian Jennings. Now Brian Jennings is stopped by Oscar Rivas, right? Oscar was a guy that is an undefeated guy, but Jennings was that guy that only got beat by Klitschko and Ortiz. So, you know what I mean? That's, you know, you could say the same thing about Povetkin, right? They got beat by Vladimir and Joshua. You know what I'm saying? So that's why Povetkin is still who he is. But let's say Povetkin gets beat by someone without a name. We'll say, oh, he fell off. He needs to retire. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, it's easy to discredit a fighter is what that, you know, when that fighter starts losing to other fighters that are lower caliber, you know? But anyway, I think that these guys should, you know, get it on. That should be a great fight. And whoever the winner ends up being should fight Wilder if Wilder doesn't fight Joshua. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think about this poll. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.